Donald Trump slapped tariffs on China. Then Mexico. Even Canada, markets tumbled. Wall Street panicked. Allies freaked out, and Trump? He just smiled. To most people, it looked chaotic. To investors, it felt reckless. To the media? Classic Trump, loud, unpredictable, unfiltered. But what if it wasn't chaos? What if this was a deliberate shock to the system, not a meltdown, but a message? Trump's not a traditional president. He doesn't play by the old rulebook. Maybe, that's the point. He isn't trying to stabilize global trade, he's trying to flip it, break the current system and rebuild it with America back on top. Call it madness. Call it a gamble, but this kind of disruption isn't new. In 1944, the US created Bretton Woods and made the dollar king. In the 1980s, Reagan disrupted the status quo to revive US strength. Trump's chaos could be a prelude to a new world order. So here's the question, is this just noise? Or a master plan? Let's break it down. To understand Trump's trade war, forget economics for a second, think power. Think chess. The tariffs weren't just about trade deficits or unfair deals, they were shockwaves, loud, messy, calculated. For decades, the US relied on a system where it imported cheap goods and exported dollars and debt. Jobs left. Industries hollowed out, but hey, Wall Street was happy. Then Trump walked in and pulled the fire alarm. Tariffs on China. Tariffs on allies, markets shook. Allies panicked, but what if that was the point, not to tweak the rules, but to shatter the table, to force every player to renegotiate, on America's terms? It's not about balance. It's about leverage, not global harmony, but national dominance. You can call it chaos, or you can call it strategy, and the deeper we go, the more it starts to look like something bigger. This isn't the first time America shook the table. In 1944, while World War II was still raging, the US brought 44 nations to a hotel in New Hampshire and rewrote the global economy. The result? Bretton Woods. The dollar became the world's anchor, the US became the banker, the builder, and the boss. Fast forward to the 1980s, Reagan walked into a post-crisis America. Inflation was out of control. Factories were shrinking. He slashed taxes, deregulated, and pumped billions into defense. It sparked a new boom, and buried the Soviet Union. Now Trump steps in. Different tools. Same ambition, reshape the system. Put America first. Again, he's not quoting Adam Smith, he's channeling Bretton Woods, he's borrowing from Reagan, with tariffs instead of missiles. So maybe this isn't just about trade, maybe it's about resetting the global order. Trump style. Trump's world isn't split into left and right, it's split into colors: green, yellow, red. Green countries, trusted allies, they get free trade deals, military protection, access to the US dollar. Think Canada, the UK, Japan. Yellow? Maybe friends. They're tolerated, but watched, they might face tariffs. Less access. Limited favors. Think Mexico, South Korea, India. And red, enemies. Rivals. Threats, they get slapped with tariffs, kicked from deals, locked out of American capital. China, Iran. Sometimes. Even Germany. This isn't foreign policy, this is economic tribalism. And it gives the US one big advantage: control. Control over trade. Over currency. Over who thrives, and who struggles. It's not about cooperation, it's about ranking the world. And keeping America at the top. Trump didn't dream this up alone. Behind the tariffs are think tanks, advisors, and billionaires, people who believe the American economy needs a hard reset, people like Peter Navarro, who saw China not as a trade partner, but as a threat, or Robert Lighthizer, who called globalization a strategic mistake. And a wave of new industrialists who want factories back on US soil. Their argument: the US got rich and lazy, it offshored production, gutted manufacturing, and bet everything on finance. Now it's time to bring the real economy home. Tariffs, they say, are not about protection, they're about correction, correcting decades of dependency. correcting a system that rewarded speculation over steel. To them, this isn't Trump's war, it's America's comeback plan, and tariffs, they're just the first punch. For years, economists warned us, America's manufacturing base is vanishing, factories moved overseas, workers got laid off, entire towns were hollowed out. We traded machines for screens, steel for software, assembly lines for app stores, and it worked, for a while, until it didn't. Then came the shortages, the chip crisis, the panic over foreign-made medicine, batteries, even baby formula. Suddenly, made in the USA wasn't just patriotic, it was survival. What if China cuts us off? What if the supply chain breaks again? We realized, we don't just import products, we've started importing dependence. That's the real danger, and for some, it's a national security risk. Tariffs, then, aren't just economic tools, they're alarms, a wake-up call that the US, the world's biggest consumer, forgot how to produce, and now. It might be too late to catch up. Why would Trump slap tariffs on allies? That's what everyone asked. Canada, Europe, even Japan, aren't they friends? But here's the thing, Trump wasn't rewarding loyalty, he was rewarding production. If you weren't building factories, if you weren't bringing jobs back to America, then friend or not, you were in the way. To Trump, economic strength mattered more than diplomatic niceties. Flags didn't matter. Numbers did. He saw trade as leverage, and tariffs as a hammer, even for your buddies. Germany, too export-heavy. Japan, still depending on US defense. Canada, getting rich off American demand, so why give them a pass? In Trump's world, if you're not helping rebuild US industry, you're part of the problem, not the solution. That's not betrayal, that's business. Big moves create big shocks, and while Washington plays chess, regular people are left paying more for eggs, gas, rent, and life itself. Interest rates are climbing, mortgages are more expensive, credit card debt through the roof. Suddenly, every trip to the grocery store feels like a negotiation, and when tariffs hit imports, prices go up, salaries don't. But it's not just about numbers, it's about choices. Do you take the job that pays more, or the one with health insurance? Do you buy now, or wait for rates to drop? Do you invest, or just survive? Macroeconomic shifts might sound like textbook theory, but they decide whether your savings grow, or disappear, and in Trump's world, volatility isn't a bug, it's a feature. Shake the system, rattle the markets, force people, and countries, to adapt. The question is, are you ready for that kind of economy? To understand what Trump is fighting against, we have to go back to where it all started, 1944. Bretton Woods, in a quiet hotel in New Hampshire, 44 nations came together. The US, untouched by war, was booming, so it made the rules. The dollar became the world's currency, backed by gold. Everyone else pegged to the dollar. It gave America power, unimaginable power. Every trade deal, every oil barrel, every loan, all in dollars. But in 1971, Nixon killed the gold standard, the dollar floated. The world kept spinning, but something broke. Enter the Triffin Dilemma. If the world needs dollars, America has to send them out, by running trade deficits. But the more we do that, the more we hollow out our economy. It's a trap. Lead the world, or protect yourself. You can't do both. Trump saw that. He saw a system designed to benefit Wall Street, global banks, and foreign manufacturers, not American workers. So he did what few dared. He challenged the dollar's dominance, he disrupted the flow, and he told the world, we don't have to keep playing this game. It shocked everyone, because when you shake the dollar, you shake the world. So what do we make of all this? Trump's tariffs, the allies he upset, the global supply chains he disrupted, the rules he ignored, or rewrote. Was it reckless nationalism, or strategic disruption? Was he crashing the system, or rebooting it? History tells us that world orders don't last forever. Bretton Woods had an expiration date, so did the gold standard, so did Made in China. Maybe Trump wasn't trying to preserve the system, maybe he was trying to end it, before it ended America, and maybe, just maybe, chaos is what disruption feels like in real time. What do you think? Drop your take in the comments, because this isn't just about Trump, it's about who writes the rules next.